according to a countdown posted on the sequel's official site, with the timer set to expire on Thursday, May 5th. That's the 5th of the 5th, incidentally, Govinda, because, Persona 5. Originally pegged for a release in late 2015, Atlus postponed the PlayStation exclusive title to the following year, with reports aligning Persona 5 with a summer release. However, it's unknown at this time whether the reveal will herald news for the Japanese version, the Western version, or both. Who knows? But I know that I keep refreshing that, it's just a website with a clock ticking down, and it's
you should make a shortcut to your homepage on so you can just check it quickly.
Oh, that's genius! Because at the moment, I tweeted about it, and I just find that tweet.
I can't wait, and it's fucked because I'm actually a little nervous. Can they do it? Can they just make it as good?
No, they can. It's been gold. Persona 3 and then 4 was exponentially better. I can only imagine they're going to knock it out of the park again.
But in my mind, look, bear with me. I'm sorry. This is going to maybe fucking get some fucking heads,
Dude, don't say shit
Fallout
like that.
3, fantastic. Fallout New Vegas, in my mind, better. Different studio.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Better. Fallout 4, interesting.
I think that's fair. It's not,
not exponentially better though,
I did in fact just drink, as you said, interesting. That is the PS podcast drinking.
Yeah, if you haven't done it before, every time we say interesting, you drink.
And if you want to play the hardcore version, every time we say that one was for comedic effect. So yeah, this is interesting stuff. I don't think it's fair to compare them, because Bethesda has had... I didn't really like Skyrim. Fucking burn me at the stake. I didn't think it was very good.
The fuck thing that you say this, and this is the classic...
And yeah, we played it, but afterwards...
This is the classic Khaylism. Skyrim was great, and we sat down together and played it for 30 hours over 2 days.
It was pretty fucked up. But that was it.
We burnt out, though. That's what it was.
I never went back to that game.
Yeah, but it's because we burnt the fuck out.
But some people like Anthony the Hammerstein Pingle is still playing it to this day. By the way...
No, he's not. He's playing Fallout.
And now you're going to be a larger-than-life character that I refer to all the time.
Can you buy a PlayStation, please, Ant? Because your PC ways just won't fly on the podcast. But I'd love to have you on the show, but your PC ways just won't fly.
Look, I get it that the graphics are crisper and stuff, but you got to update your drivers, dude.
But seriously, Anthony, I know you can't answer me now, but I want a message from you when you hear this.
Yeah. So much rage.
But how long did you spend tweaking the settings of Fallout before you actually started playing?
Yeah.
How much time did you spend actually being I gotta tweak it. Can I make the shadows a little sharper? Fuck.
And I know you fucking modded it, and I know you got sucked down that Steam Workshop rabbit hole.
Please tell me you're not still in this Wii U torture chamber.
Oh, he's got to... I feel like all the Wii apologists have given up at this point. It's...
Because you can't let it go anymore. You gotta... you listen to the show, you know my stance on Nintendo. I hope they fail. Yeah. I hope they fail so that you can buy a PlayStation and I can have a PlayStation and we can play Mario together, dude. Together.
It's a bright future.
Sorry, everyone who doesn't know who Anthony is. Continue.
Anthony's a beautiful man.
I'm probably drunk, I think. This is fun.
Time for the PS forecast, Govinda. And talking about Persona 5, this game caught my eye because it is so very similar. So very similar, in fact, that it shares some of the creative DNA behind the series.
People from Persona worked on this?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
So, old school Persona fans might be interested to see that Tadashi Satomi, writer of the first 2 Persona games, is now working with developer Aquaria, who made Sword Art Online, Hollow Fragment for Bandai Namco, and Fu Ryu, Legend of Legacy on a Vita exclusive RPG. Entitled Caligula, this new game is set in Mobius, a virtual world in which our main characters are trapped. This game is... How to describe it? You haven't played Legend of Heroes, have you?
No.
Trails of Cold Steel, sorry.
I played 5 minutes of it. That's not even close to enough.
Yep. So this is, from what I can gather, the trailer's in Japanese. It is Persona, Like that same, like you have a huge cast, you go to school, you have those interactions.
7 didn't have a huge cast, but I know what you mean.
This looks like it has a bigger cast than that.
That's almost like too much in my mind, but continue.
They actually look interesting though, and like not like your regular tropes.
Yeah, I just like there was a good number of people in Persona, not too many to get confused.
Yep.
But like enough to be like, it's good variety.
But this shares combat with Trails of Cold Steel, where it's sort of
more actiony.
Well, no, it's still very turn-based, but you can actually move your characters tactically, like around a field.
Do you predict that'll happen in Persona 5?
I hope not.
Yeah, me too.
I just want classic turn-based. Yeah, like I don't want anything too radical.
Yeah.
I really just want Persona 4 with a new story. That's all I want.
No, but like they could make it. They could make a better.
Oh, sorry. I had a point earlier, and I'll go back to it now. Although I never played it, I just listened to a full episode by shout out to the Kane and Rince podcast. They're one of my favorite new podcasts. Bunch of English guys, and I listened to their episode about Catherine. And I've always wanted to play that game, and if Persona 5 is like anything like that, like a really like gritty, more modern take. I mean, Persona 4 is modern, but this is more adult. Catherine was very like...
Thematically, I don't know if it'll meet Catherine.
Yeah.
Because Catherine was a lot like about a dude...
Very dark.
Trying to like figure out... He's like cheating on his girlfriend named Catherine with another girl named Catherine and trying to balance this...
But more than that, like, because then one of them starts telling him that she's pregnant, and he's like just fucking...
Yeah, she's like crazy adult
and he's
things.
just trying to like cowardly worm his way out of it. Like, it's fucked up, but like, I like that.
Whereas Persona 5 looks more like a Ocean's 11 capers sort of thing.
The amazing thing about that game is I've walked down some of the streets of Shibuya where they have like set scenes from the trailers. Like that is photorealistic Tokyo. It's so incredible. I love that they've gotten away from that small town Japan to like big city Japan, which is, it's fucking hell. That game is going to destroy us.
But yeah, that sounds cool. I'll give it a look. I'm not going to guarantee anything.
It is a Vita exclusive.
Oh, nice.
Which we like. We
do,
like.
Yeah, we're partial to them.
I love my little Vitsky. And in fact, it's time for our talking point. And we're going to talk about a very exclusive Vita title.
A very exclusive Vita title that we got some very exclusive access to.
I love that you just keep saying that. It makes me feel so good.
Severed.
DrinkBox Studio. Creator of Guacamelé's new project, Severed.
It is a first-person dungeon-crawling RPG with touch controls for combat.
Yes.
That
really does it.
It really does it. By the developers of Guacamelee.
Yes, and that really shows, I think.
It does. The art style in particular is very, very akin to Guacamelee.
I think straight off the bat, I don't play first-person dungeon crawlers.
Well, I was saying to you, the only thing that I've played that is similar to this is Persona Q.
Yep.
And that annoyed me, but only because I had to spend half my time drawing a map on the touch screen.
Yeah. I don't know if this is like a common feature, but I really appreciate in Severed, you can, like, as you move, you're moving through a dungeon that is essentially like square rooms, but you can freely look around them in 360 degrees.
Yeah, it's actually really good. And also, if you haven't picked up Severed item, I will point out that the way combat works is touch controls.
Yeah, which is another thing I was sort of iffy on. So that's kind of what I was trying to get at. This game was a bit of a sell for me. It's a first-person touch-based game.
Yeah, but I haven't struggled with it, except for like one enemy type that just time and time again pisses me off.
Which one is that?
The four-arm monkey dude of any variety.
And is this the one that attacks twice?
Sometimes there's like the basic one will attack once, and then like it gets more advanced and attacks twice, and then sometimes like there's armored bits. But
he'll cover himself.
It's the covering of himself that really bugs me, because everyone else will usually get like dazed, and there's a way that you can just destroy them, just smash the shit out of them. But then there's this thing, and he'll just like, you get like 2 hits and then he blocks a different direction.
Yep.
And then you get 2 more hits, he blocks a different direction. And it really pisses me off.
So we should really set the scene. This game has only come out today. The embargo's up today. as of the time of recording.
As long as we post this when we plan to post this.
Guess we just dated ourselves. And yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how this is received. Because, like, I was saying to Govinda earlier, playing through it, I didn't like it to start with. And then I, like, really did. Like, started hitting... So we should give some, like, setup, right? Without spoilers.
You want to do it? You do it.
Yeah, it's quite vague. So basically, you play as a one-armed woman who finds a demon sword, and she returns home to find that her family's gone.
And it's not quite home, from what I can tell. It's like an alternate...
It's very dark and depressing, and there's a lot going on. Like, things are shattered, her home's ruined, and there's a creature sort of speaking...
It's like a demon. I'm going to say a demon. I feel good about that.
And also the sword itself is a demon, right? And so, like, obviously, like, you're sort of on the back foot to begin with. Like, how did she lose the arm? Like, I'm sure, you know, eventually these questions are answered.
And all that you're given is this demon character says, bring your family back here and I'll return you to where you came from.
Okay, yeah. So that's like...
And so that's your quest, is to go find your brother, your mum, and your dad.
And you do this by, like, wandering in first person, of course, through, like, several dungeons. Sort of the whole... It sort of reminds me of Doom in little ways. Like,
definitely.
You just find the right key and then suddenly you can backtrack and open certain doors.
Yeah.
There'll be, like, symbols placed on them.
Lots of secrets everywhere, and, like, you know it's a secret because the room has a big question mark in it, so you know there's a secret in there, so you just have to kind of, like... just figure it out.
I'm an idiot. I didn't know that for a long time.
Yeah, that's the secret.
Yeah, like, and the secrets are like, you'll be in, say, like, a brick room, and just one of the squares will be touchable.
Yeah.
And that will, like, usually open a door.
It took me too long to figure that out by myself.
Yeah, no, it really, it's kind of obtuse.
No, but, like, it's part of the secretness. Like, there was I don't want to spoil the secrets, but there was one secret, and I just couldn't figure it out until I just stumbled upon it.
To be fair, and, like, we haven't had any guides to help us. I haven't found that many. Like, I kind of just gave up and I was like...
Really?
Yeah, because
you gotta take a bit of time, I guess.
I'd like to platinum this one, but...
Because I'm smashing through these secrets.
Well, I didn't know that the question mark meant there was a secret.
You'll figure it out.
That changes things.
Yeah. And then the combat itself is interesting because it's... You start off and you're fighting an enemy and you figure out there's a certain way to attack it.
Yeah.
With your slashes of your demon sword. And then they start throwing in curveballs like you're fighting 4 enemies at a time.
Yeah,
and they're on all sides of you, and all that you see is underneath the screen is little circles, and they start filling up when they're just about to attack. And then you've got to kind of swap to them, stop their attack, and manage your battle that way by swapping around all through them all.
Which is pretty hectic.
It gets really hectic.
And the thing is, like, all these different enemy types have different tells for when they're going to attack, and you need to parry them. And, like, it's one thing to parry a 4-armed demon monkey, but when 16 dots that turn into eyes are suddenly attacking you, it's a little bit different.
Pro tip, that's actually not a parry situation.
Oh, you just need to interrupt
You got to stop the eyes going.
Yep, I figured that.
Same with the little mushroom dudes, and you've just got to, like, hack the mushrooms down and move on.
Here's my problem. Okay, so let's focus on some positives.
I only have positives. I have no... My only qualm is that sometimes the touch controls annoy me, but other than that...
Yeah, so it's beautiful. I really like... It's sort of like very, zany, like that Simpsons episode where Homer chases the spirit wolf, fox.
Yep.
Kind of like that vibe. It's very, it's guacamole.
Very colourful.
Very
but
colourful.
Also dark.
It's very, like, creepy. This is a weird world. Yeah. Like, it's, so I really like sort of the world, and, like, there wasn't too much story, but, like, once it starts getting going, it kind of, like, reinvigorated me.
See, because I was just losing hours, and it wasn't even the story that I was losing hours to, but it was just, like, I was just compelled to figure it out. Like, I was like, all right, there's a door here. I know that there's a way to do this, and I would just spend the time and just do it.
Yep.
So I was like, I took a break from Dark Souls, and I just lost hours at a time. Like, I think I've only played this game like 3 times, but I would just sink like 3 hours at a time into it.
Yeah, really get into it.
Yeah.
I like, so yeah, and the music gets a little repetitive for me, especially when I'm like backtracking because
I backtracked like no one's business.
I get
honestly
lost.
Didn't even notice it. I
Yeah.
barely even paid attention to the music. It was kind of. In the
I played with
background.
headphones on.
So do I, but I just wasn't even. It's too focused.